Hello, online universe. Alex, aka Raven S. Klawe, here at your service with my next tutorial. So why don't we just jump into it? And from the hat, today's theme and inspiration is the craft, aka witchy. So The Craft was a movie about a group of witches that form a coven. I can't remember where it's set. There's a girl who newly moves into this town and goes to school, and everybody tells them, oh, avoid that group over there because they're super weird and stuff. And then she joins them, they form a coven, and that's as far as I'm gonna go with the description of that, because spoilers. The main girl had short, shaggy hair, and she wore a lot of black, very deep, rich lipstick and whatnot, and she was pretty pale, so I think I'm gonna go with maybe 90s grunge punk sort of look, so very pale, a lot of black, not much color, pale complexion, dark lip, maybe a smoky eye. I might go traditional, typical, what you see in the movie, sort of gothy face. I might do a more glamorous version of it. I might do a more fashionable version of it, maybe more runway. We'll see where this tutorial takes us. So, let us begin. Okay, so I have moisturized my face, I have primed it with my NYX Pore Filling Primer, and for extra measure, I also put on an eye primer. I put on Hard Candy Sheer Envy Primer Longwear, 12 hours, and I put that and concentrated it just on my lids and on my bags. And right now, I'm about to go in with my foundation. I am using shade 120 Classic Ivory by Maybelline Fit Me. And I'm going to take my beauty blender and go over my face. I have already concealed using my NYX HD Photogenic Concealer over the redness on my cheeks on both sides, some of the redness on my nose, and some redness that was coming through around the bottom of my nose. So now I'm going to go in with my foundation and block out any irregular coloration in my face, in my thought. Cool. So once you have your base down, we're going to then contour slightly. I'm not going to totally do my drag contouring and do super heavy contouring. I'm just going to lightly go over general area. I'm gonna do my male contouring. I feel like I should do a sort of male interpretation. The difference between female contouring and male contouring is in your cheekbones, you go across your cheek and then down and cut it down, because men have sort of sunken in cheeks right in there. And then you do the temples of your face, because men have sort of these like indents right in the sides of their heads. You want to sort of contour your nose wider than typically, sort of in your eye socket to make it look sunken in. And then I'm going to square off a lot of my face, so I'm not going to so much curve my jawline. I'm actually just going to do a straight line across, and then do a straight line sort of going down right from the bottom of my ear and straight down, so I get a nice harsh angle jawline. So basically with men, you're going to add those harsh lines into your face, whereas with female contouring, you're using that contouring to soften those lines. And yes, that was my grinder. So once you have your contour blended, we're going to take a somewhat fluffy brush, nothing too big like a setting powder brush, something more smaller like an angled contour brush, And we're going to take a gray eyeshadow. I have Sephora single eyeshadow here in shade Starry Night. That is N07. And I'm going to pick some of that up. And we're going to gray out some of our contours. I'm going to take a concealer. I just got a new concealer. It's the Maybelline Fit Me in shade 15 Fair. It is the lightest one that I could find. And I'm going to go over my highlight spots that I normally do. You should start to pale out at this point because the concealer is so light. You're going to go around those contour areas, and those contour areas are just going to look that much more sunken in to your face. Just because we're extra. I'm going to take my lightest highlight that I have, my Mayron Cream Paint Stick in 400-E, and I'm going to take a foundation brush, and I'm going to basically go over those highlight areas again, but also where my normal foundation was. So I'm going to add some there, go down the sides, center of the nose, around in a beautiful heart shape, center of the forehead a bit, underneath that contour, around my chin, and underneath the other contour on the other side, and then blend. So once you have all of that highlight blended in, you should look kind of like this. And now, I'm going to see how this looks on the face. It's a dead gray face powder. I believe you can find it at Halloween stores, which unfortunately they are closing up now. If not, don't worry about this step. I don't think this is going to do that much. But I'm just going to go over the contour areas and see how it looks. Kind of works. But yeah, so you can probably find another eyeshadow that matches this sort of color and just make sure it's in a matte and that it is not too pigmented. You don't want it to be very gray, you just want to have that sort of traditional goth sort of presence. I remember the goth phases and whatnot. You would always pale out your face to hell and then contour it with like black and grays and stuff because we all wanted to look like vampires. It was the coolest thing. I mean, yes, I still kind of do. Vampires are hot. I mean, I said this look was gonna be a eye heavy look, but whoops, I lied. Sorry, not sorry. Canadian sorry. Sorry, not sorry. We are going to set our face with powder. And today on Make Yourself Look Like a Coke Addict, we have Ben 9 Natural Set in Colorless. Ooh, and a hush falls over the crowd. And then I'm just going to brush it off of my eyes when I go in with the eye. But yeah, so she has this sort of like blood red sort of lip. She wears a simple black eyeliner, and then she has a really nice thin brow, so very, like, 90s grunge. I think I'm going to do more of a smoky eye, and maybe a deep purple lip. Maybe straight black, but I might do a deep purple lip. And then a nice, thin, bitchy brow. So I'm just going to tight water lash line my eyes with a black eyeshadow, so during the day if it smudges, it just adds to the look. And then once I have that tight lined, I'm then gonna bring the black eyeshadow onto my top lid and sort of smudge it out a bit into my crease. So once you have that black lining your upper and lower waterline, you're going to take a bigger sort of eyeshadow brush, make sure it's clean, and you're just going to smudge that black eyeshadow on your upper lid. And you're going to try to sort of make it look kind of dirty, as if you just took your finger to it. You could take your finger to this, but I mean, I want it to be a bit more cleaner. So I'm gonna try and do a sort of dirty, quickened, easy black eye in a cleaner way. I don't know how to describe it. We're going to take a fluffy crease blending brush over the top of our crease. Cute. Very chic. Good, take an angled liner brush, that black eyeshadow, and I'm just gonna do the underside of the line first. And then once you have that line, you're gonna want to fill in more of the inner side, but leave that outside as thin as it is. Once you have the brow on, just, you know, dust off that powder. A liquid eyeliner, if I can find where I put it. There it is. I'm gonna use L'Oreal Carbon Black Telescopic, and I'm just gonna tight line my lower and upper waterline on both eyes, obviously. Once your water lines are black as shit, you're gonna take a simple black mascara and then just put on a lovely deep red or purple or both lip. So for my lip today, I'm gonna be using NYX Soft Matte Lip Cream, and it is Copenhagen. Yes, it's sort of like an in-between reddish purple. And that is the final look. So, I hope you guys learned a thing or two about goth culture and the craft. And I shall see you, witches, next week. Deuces.